Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to a new game of StarCraft II Heart of the Swarm. Now, as you might have already guessed from the title of this video, in this one I'm going to be playing a game as Protoss. This is actually a game that I played last night, and honestly I got very frustrated. I played a couple of games as Zerg, I played like 10 or so, and honestly I was just losing every single one of them. I was like, fuck it, let's go to the American server and let's play some off-races. So in this specific game, I'm actually playing Protoss right now versus a Zerg player. In the corner of this map is going to be Polar Night Alley. I'm up against a Zerg player named Waze. At least that's how I'm going to be pronouncing him. Waze, I think that's how you pronounce it. And he's going to be the diamond level Zerg in the bottom corner of Polar Night Alley, whereas I'm going to be spawning as the Protoss player in the top part of the map. Now keep in mind, I obviously don't play Protoss, right? So I don't I don't actually know how this race really works. I played it a couple of times a couple of months back when I was a little bit more active with it, but honestly right now I don't really know how to play it very well. So in this game, I am going to show you how you can win with doing random shit as Protoss. So there's a couple of thoughts that I have in this game, right? First and foremost, I know I'm against a Zerg player, and I know what Zerg players find very annoying. So I know for a fact Voidrays are going to be absolutely amazing, so is Oracle harassment, and in the end game my plan is to go for something like Voidray High Templar. I just don't really know how to get there. I know a few basic Protoss openers, but for example I don't really know pylon timings, I don't really know when to get the building, so in this game I'm just going to be basically just doing whatever. Now keep in mind that if you're a Zerg player watching this, and there's a big chance you are, you should probably close your eyes towards the end of this game, because it's going to be pretty cringy, it's going to be pretty painful for your poor Zerg soul to watch. So let's see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to be opening up with a gateway expand right here, as you can see, getting my second pylon a little bit off time in a random place in my main base. Should have gotten it right here or so, seems to be a lot more necessary or a lot more useful, but like I said, I'm a poor Protoss player, so I don't actually know what's happening. Gotta get my Zealot up right now, starting a Cybercore, and everything seems to be fine and dandy so far. Meanwhile, on the Zerg side of things, Waze is getting his spawning pool up, and he's going to be expanding behind it. I scouted this with my 9 probe scout, I believe this was, which is absolutely unnecessary whenever you go for a gateway expand, because you're pretty safe anyway. But I managed to scout exactly what was going on, and I know, okay, there's no trickery out whatsoever. Means I can play my own game, I don't need to worry about super early Zerglings or anything. So here we go, my Zealot is out, going to be marching with that for a little bit. Obviously not going to be sending it across the map, right, because that would actually be ideal. You should, yeah, there you go, you should go across the map, and I'm gonna be flying, I believe, my mothership core. Actually, no mothership core, it's only just now in production. Normally what you want to do is actually send your mothership core straight after it, but either way, I'm going to be starting my Nexus right now. Pretty standard gateway expand right now as well, no trickery, shenanigans whatsoever, and he has a couple of Zerglings on my side of the map right now. Might be able to pick up a probe right there, but I don't think it's really going to happen because my mothership core is out in time right now. Meanwhile, my Zealot is still happily moving across the map, scouting for a third base, which is obviously not up yet, but my mothership core should be plenty to deal with this. Now keep in mind, I want to go for some sort of Stargate play, right? So I'm starting my second gas geyser right now, making sure I got plenty of gas income right now so I can start building that thing. And I'm going to stack up on more pylons, because why would you spread them out like in the corners of your base, right? If there's like potential mutalisks coming in. Just watching this replay makes me realize how poor of a Protoss player I really am. Look at my chrono boost. This chrono boost is already starting to pile up right now. I don't really know what I'm doing. Now keep in mind, guys, my opponent, oh, I'm trying to attack a screen right here. My opponent is definitely not a bad Zerg player. Okay, my opponent is a diamond level Zerg. He knows what's happening, right? He should know exactly how to deal with this. Well, here we go. My Stargate is going up right now. I'm making sure I'm making more and more probes, not chrono boosting right there, because obviously that's not necessary. And I'm gonna start my warp gates very soon as well. Now, normally whenever you do this sort of play, you want to add about 2 gateways right now. But what I'm doing is basically just adding a couple of assimilators, because who needs units where you can just make Stargate units, right? So there we go, my mothership core is going across the map. See if I can actually snipe that last little hit point off of that queen that is currently in the main base. Trying to check for it right now. I notice, okay, he's going for static defense, meaning he's likely not gonna be attacking anytime soon. So I don't really need my gateways that early on. And I notice, okay, he's being tricky. Let's just get out of there. Let's just make sure we get back home, because this unit is really important. Obviously, Photon Overcharge, one of the strongest defensive abilities in the game. So I definitely need this mothership core at home. Now I'm starting one fort right now at the front, and I'm starting to chrono boost out this oracle right now. Getting more and more probes in production as well, getting a lot of gas income. And my idea is to try and, you know, do a little bit of aggression with this one oracle. Maybe go for a second one as well, kind of depends what I want. Yeah, there we go. I am going to be starting my second oracle, but to then actually eventually follow it up with 2 more stargates and gateway units. So what I'm gonna do is make a couple of oracles and then go straight into Voidray production. Now my opponent is going to be what did I press? I pressed the button. Oh, it doesn't matter. It was only 10 seconds. So my opponent is going to be scouting right now. He's going to run in the main base, or fly in the main base rather, with this overlord to make sure he knows what's up. But this thing is a little bit late, so I will be able to just basically kill that, no problem. So here we go. Oracle flying across the map, going to try and micro this to the best of my abilities. Going to activate the ability right now, and here we go. How many kills will I be able to get? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... target fire the queen right there. Poor control on my side of things. Trying to get whatever damage I can do right now. Doing a ton already. And I'm going to be flying out there because I don't want to risk losing it. But that was 8 kills right there. This oracle definitely played for itself. Or paid for itself. Now I have another oracle flying in right now. Going to start transitioning into other units before hitting a supply block right there. Cancelling a robotics facility as well. And then adding on 2 more gateways. Because I'm a Protoss player. I don't really know how this race works. So I'm going to once again poke in a little bit right here with the new oracle. See how many kills I can get on that one. And I'm going to get a couple already. Actually getting quite a few right now. Want to get at least about 4. Could have gotten a couple more actually. But for whatever reason I'm actually target firing the queen right there. So not the best harassment. But all in all, how many workers did I manage to kill? 12 workers with 2 oracles. That is definitely going to be worth it. So what I'm going to do at home meanwhile is add on those Voidrays, like I already mentioned right now. Those are in production right now. 2 more Stargate being added on as well. And I'm going to be starting my 3rd Nexus, I believe. I should be starting that relatively soon. Yep, 9.5 minutes. Pretty good timing actually on that one. So all in all, this game is actually going fairly well. I did quite a bit of damage. My early Zealot harassment actually kind of threw him off his game. And his 3rd base is really only just now up. Now as you can see, he is producing a ton of Zerglings right now. So I need to make sure that I deal with those in some way or another, because I really don't have any units that can really deal with this efficiently. Now I'm going to start chrono boosting out more and more Voidrays. Voidrays, when you max out on Voidrays, you cannot really lose as a Protoss player. So that's my goal right now. Obviously, it would be pretty tricky to get there, but I got my 3rd base up and going. So I need to make sure that I defend against this enormous Zergling counter attack right now. So he's running towards my 3rd base. I'm going to somehow, some way have to deal with this. He's gonna target fire down my Nexus. It's gonna be a really close one. Will I be able to actually defend against this? Going to activate the fighting ability on my oracles as well. And they are so strong right now. As you can see, they actually deal with these Zerglings no problem. And I managed to clean them up. All the while making sure my Nexus stays alive. So I'm pretty glad with the way things are going right now. More and more Voidrays joining the fight as well. Going to start producing more of them as well. Getting the +1 air weapons level 1. Or the +1 air weapons for the Protoss units right now as well. Adding on a couple of gateways. Adding on the armor ability right now for the Zealots that I want to be creating. And I believe soon I will also start adding on the... what is the thing called? The Twilight Council, to make sure that my Zealots have charge. But for now, I'm actually pretty glad. I'm actually quite happy with the way things are going. Now, obviously, there were a ton of mistakes that I made in this game. But all in all, my macro is pretty solid. I'm not really stacking up too many gas and too much minerals. And I actually noticed that this strategy is pretty easy to play. I know that might sound pretty obnoxious from a Zerg player, but this is an easy build order to actually play. I'm not doing it very efficiently, but spending your minerals and spending your gas as a Protoss is relatively easy. Just make Voidrays with whatever gas you might have and get supply block every now and then. Now, as you can see on the production tab, I am trying to produce pylons right now because I'm hitting a supply block. But as you can see in the supply counts, I'm actually getting a nice little advantage right now. Making sure I get upgrades going as well. Getting my Twilight Council out right now to get the charge going soon as well. So all in all, I'm pretty, you know, it's not going that bad. Gonna be flying once more across the map with the Voidrays. Have I even lost a unit yet? I'm actually, yeah, I lost 2 units so far. That's 1 Zealot. And that seems to be a Stalker as well, or something like that. Either way, I'm going to try and do a little bit of harassment now at his 3rd base. The oracles are already ready. And basically what I'm just trying to do right now is make sure that the Zerg player does not move across the map. Ooh, getting stuck right there in the corner. 1 oracle going down. Actually trying to use the Revelation ability right now. Or, what is that ability even called? What is it called? Yeah, I tried to use the Revelation ability, but I used the wrong hotkey. So instead, I used the Envision ability, which basically detects cloaked and burrowed units. Not really the best thing to do right there. Now, as you can see though, meanwhile, while this is all going on, I am just building up an army. How many Voidrays do I have right now? I got about 9 Voidrays in the skies already, making 2 more right now as well. Not optimally using my my Stargates right now, but it's going pretty well. A 12th one being added on too, and I'm just trying to produce whatever units I can right now. Now, it's going to be a big Zerg attack. As you can see, he already has quite a significant amount of Hydralisks right now, and this is going to be an important fight. He's going to be pushing into my third very soon, and I actually need to make sure that I defend against this. Now, keep in mind, this is only like my 2nd or 3rd game playing Protoss for the first time in months, and I am making a big mistake right now. Need to make sure I get out of here. Mothership core going down, a couple of units going down for practically free as well, and my charge is not quite done yet. Trying to desperately chrono boost that one out, but I got a couple of idle Voidrays right here in the corner. I need to make sure I somehow, some way manage to hold this. So I'm trying to lure him into my actual cannons. Going to use the charge ability, which just now finished, and it should be, yeah, come on. Yep, there we go. Some force fields going down, and I am doing work with these Voidrays. Oh my god, look at these Voidrays going to town on all these Hydralisks. And even though Hydralisks are technically the counter to this unit composition, somehow, some way, they just managed to always soak through these upgraded Voidrays. These Voidrays have +1/+1, which just straight up makes them a lot stronger. And I don't think I've really lost that much. Let me take a look at the resources lost that. Nope, that is definitely way in my favor. So far, it is going pretty good. Now, I can't really allow my Zerg opponent to get a fort base up and running, so I will need to push out pretty soon, or very soon as well. Because I definitely don't want that to have happening. And I'm gonna be adding up a couple of gateways right now. I noticed, okay, I'm starting to pile up a lot of minerals, and I definitely don't want that. I need to make sure that I keep that down. So I'm gonna add on a couple of gateways, a couple of pylons as well, and I'm gonna start warping in a lot more zealots as soon as I get the chance to do so. Now, what I'm also gonna start right now is the Templar Archives. Templar Archives basically allows you to start producing the High Templars, and the thought behind this is that High Templars are going to be absolutely amazing versus this Hydralisk link force that he's been going for. Now, as you can see, he's doing a pretty nice attack once here, or right I can't talk today. He's doing a pretty nice attack once more right here, killing off a lot of probes. Lowko, what are you doing? Lowko, what are you doing? You're losing all your probes. And he is basically killing all my workers right now. Now, meanwhile, I'm doing a little bit of fighting right now with my Voidrays, making sure that I clean up most of these Hydralisks for practically free. And I am going to be forced to move across the map very soon. But, as you can see, my income advantage that I did have a little bit ago actually got dwindled back all the way because he killed a lot of probes. So I'm like, okay, let's move across the map. Let's warp in units and let's just simply move across the map. +2 air weapons upgrade finishing up very soon as well. Getting more and more Voidrays out, but here we go. I'm going to be moving in this fort base. Can't allow that one to stay up and mining for very long. Ooh, messing up my hotkeys right there. I tried to actually activate the prismatic alignment right now, but here we go. I'm going to be charging in with all these units, trying to micro my Voidrays the best I can. Should be throwing up a decent force field right there as well, making sure I actually split up most of that Hydralisk army, and I'm going to be target firing down those Hydralisks as well with my Voidrays. Now, keep in mind, I really didn't lose many Voidrays at all. Target firing the hatchery, and that thing goes down instantly. And I basically made sure right now that the income will be a lot more even. Now, he still has a little bit of an advantage, but I got an army that is practically unkillable. Now, I could decide to move into the natural right now. Let's have a look if that would have been a smart decision to make. Honestly, probably, yeah. I actually have a bigger army than him right now. I could have actually finished the game right there, but I'm like, nope. Let's warp in these babies right here. Got a couple of High Templars, got Storm in production as well. Starting +3 ground weapons as well for my Zealots, but nice little run bird right now with a couple of Zerglings. How are the upgrades on these Zerglings looking? Let's have a look at them actually. Need to click one. +1 armor, not the best upgrades on those. He's probably been upgrading his ranged attack most of the time, but he's still killing more and more probes. So he is doing work to my mineral lines right now, allowing me to not really get a big economy up, and that is definitely what I'm going to be need if I'm actually going to be able to win this game. Now, I have storms incoming, as I mentioned already, and storms do a ton of damage to all of this army. This army contains of a lot of light light armor units, and light armor does very, very poorly versus something that deals bonus damage to that. So usually whenever you're a Zerg player, going for Hydra, Zergling, Mutalisk versus a Storm army or versus a Colossus based army is not going to be your best bet. Now I'm warping in more and more Zealots, making sure I get a big army going, and I'm actually about to hit max out right now. These High Templars all got Storm right now. I got +3 ground about halfway done, starting the +3 attack for the air units as well, but I do think I'm going to be moving across the map very, very soon. Now, as you can see, the Zerg player is trying to expand everywhere. He's getting a 4th, he's getting a 5th base as well. But I have a significant army. Now, once more, guys, keep in mind, I never really played Protoss. I've just been making whatever units I could get my hands on. And this seems to be a pretty fearsome army right now. Getting up to 4th base at the back of my natural as well, making sure I get a big army out. But here we go, I'm trying and move in right now, see whatever damage I can do. My opponent, however, has a pretty fearsome army too, but 175 supply, but my army is basically the counter to whatever he is having right here. Now, I'm going to hit some pretty good storms if I want to win this. But here we go, guys. Make sure you close your eyes if you're a Zerg player, because I'm gonna hit some storms right here on all of these Hydras, on all of these Zerglings as well. And basically just storming my own units right now, making sure that everything gets cleaned up. And there we go, guys. My second game or third game playing Protoss in the longest time, up against a diamond level Zerg. And he basically just got rolled over right now. We are waiting for the GG. I managed to quite easily defend right now. Not really playing very well, but somehow, some way, managed to win. I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, and I will see you in the next video. Bye! Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and welcome to a new replay analysis. Today we're not gonna take a look at a game of mine, but we're gonna take a look of Chill King's game. Chill King is a gold level Zerg, and we're gonna have a look at what went wrong in this Zerg versus Zerg. Now, Chill King is